When we do an experimental investigation, it's very important to do a fair test. That means that we have to control, keep the same, all variables other than the independent and dependent variables to make it fair. So say we are doing this investigation. How does number of coils affect electromagnet strength? It wouldn't be fair to give one of them a 12-volt battery and the other a 1,5-volt battery. Then the difference in number of pins that they pick up might not be because of the number of coils, but it might rather be because of the different voltage of the battery used. So we have to isolate the one variable that we are treating them differently with, and only treat them differently in that one way. In other words, we must only treat these two differently in our independent variable, the number of coils. Everything else should be the same between them so that we're not going to get some interference from other variables. So we need to think of all the things that might affect the electromagnet strength and make sure that they are the same between the treatments. Except, of course, the independent variable. That mustn't be the same between them. That would be stupid. Then there wouldn't be any point. So let's think what might affect the strength of the electromagnet besides number of coils. Definitely the voltage of the battery. So that needs to be controlled. So maybe in both cases we must use a 9-volt battery. What about the kind of material that the nail is made of? We have to use the same kind of material in both cases. What about the thickness of that nail? The length of that nail? All of that should be the same between the treatments. They should be controlled variables. Also, the kinds of pins that we use to measure the electromagnet strength. We can't use heavy pins in one case and light pins in another. That wouldn't be fair. So we've got to use identical pins to measure electromagnet strength in each case. So the pins must be made of the same kind of material, they must have the same mass as one another, their lengths must be the same, their thicknesses must be the same. How about in this investigation? How does color of light affect the growth rate of beans? What variables must you keep the same between the treatments to make this fair? So you're going to maybe have red light, green light, yellow light, and you have some beans there and there and there. So the color of light mustn't be controlled. That's got to be different between them. But what should be the same between them? Pause while you answer this. They must all be kept at the same temperature. The brightness of the light must be the same. The seeds must all get the same amount of water. The density at which you pack the seeds should be the same in each case. They should all get the same amount of fresh air. And you must keep them all in the same kind of medium. Say maybe wrap them all in cotton wool. It wouldn't be fair if you plant some in fertilizer and others you just leave them open to the air and others you put in cotton wool. That wouldn't be fair. So you must treat them all the same in that respect. Probably simplest just to wrap them all in cotton wool.